Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Edson, and yeah, so basically, I'll be opening up a new channel. I'm still thinking of the name, but I'm thinking of going with Future Tech. That's the name of the company I'm thinking of starting, or the company I started, which I've been developing mobile apps. Obviously, mobile apps, because I think it's a good field to start in mobile apps. So basically with this channel, Future Tech, I'm gonna call it Future Tech with Eddie. I'm not sure. I have to put my name in there for now, just in case I wanna push it out for internships or anything. Just direct them back to my page. But yeah, basically what we will be doing in this channel, number one, I wanna teach HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's like the three fundamental things I want to teach. But then I'm teaching these three fundamental things because I want to teach React Native to the masses. Let me say to the masses, or to the small community that I'll be catching. So that's what I want to teach them. CSS, all those others. I don't think I'll be touching Python for now. But there is a project that I will be doing that will incorporate Python, yeah, and machine learning and all of those stuff. But for now, we'll be doing the basic C++, HTML, and JavaScript. I think those are like core functions or core languages if you want to get into the market space of building websites, which are pretty easy, or building mobile apps, because front end can easily be swapped out with these new websites like Wix. I think it's Wix or something like that, where people just go and create the front end website and web page but don't know how it works at the back end. So I'm saying if you're a full stack developer or partially full stack developer, then you have a bigger chance of breaking into the market. And the market does not want much. The market does not want much. So the core for JavaScript, people want people with that know a certain type of framework. So with JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, it all translates in React. With React Native, or React, should I say React framework, yeah? With those frameworks, it's a mixture of all of it. I'm going to give you an example now. I'm just going to give you an overview of React. I think I can show you part of my code, not too much into the code, but I can show you, yeah, I can show you part of the code. I'm going to switch cameras now just to give you an overview of what React is compared to HTML, C++. React is basically packaged, okay, let's say bundled of all those three. So you'll be using JavaScript, obviously Babel for React. But with React, I'm basically opening my HTML. I'm doing everything in HTML that I can do in an HTML document. I'm doing everything in CSS that I can do in HTML, and I'm doing JavaScript at the same time. So I'm not going to be opening up a script tag like you would traditionally do in HTML. If you want to use JavaScript or a style tag, if you want to use CSS, then link all of that. With React, you just do it all in one. So basically, I'm going to show you the code, part of the code later on. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in anything with JavaScript, web tech, and mobile app development. I'm going to show you what React is, but we won't be doing React for now. It will be like the first lesson will be a full website development, or a two-page website development. I can do a full website development, but not the back end. So it will be the front end, just to give you an insight on HTML for those who maybe might not know it. CSS at the same time, and a bit of JavaScript, like drop-down menus, how to use JavaScript into your CSS, like how to write the function that then will go into the code in CSS when something happens, on an event, like maybe an on-click function, on event that will call properties in CSS to show in HTML. So I'm just going to show you the basic of HTML for now. Basic of JavaScript, HTML, and C++. Python and all of those languages, we'll do those later. So let me show you what React may look like. Let me give you an insight of React. Let's take a look at this code, right? Let's take a look at this code. This is React, but it's like CSS. So you just import styles from React Native and all of those. It's like the way you write it is like you write in JavaScript. But look here, let me move my mouse, let me not put my hands in the video. But look over here by the constant styles. So we created a style sheet, and look, we gave it properties. We named it container. The same way you do with CSS, we would give it an ID and control it through the ID. But look at this. I gave it all the properties: background color, align item center, justify item center, all of that. And then look at this, view.style. Can see over there, view.style. I just have to pass in styles.container. So when I pass in that, I'm actually using this style. So I don't have to ID everything I want to use. I'm going to show you into the other code that I'm working on. Hopefully there's nothing that's going to expose me. So basically with me, you see, I'm focused on web development and mobile app development. That's all I'm focused on for now. I got a separate game development going on, but I'm gonna create a channel on that, or maybe put it on this channel for those that are gonna want to be doing game development or Kylie Linux hacking and all of those type of things. But then that's like more advanced, so that will be later in the channel where we're gonna be doing Kylie Linux and all of the game dev. But for now, we're just doing what I call mobile app and web development on iPhone or iOS. You don't need a MacBook anymore, but I'd suggest you get that. I suggest you get three laptops or something, or two, a Mac and a Intel laptop. Those are the best to use. Mac it'll be more proactive or pro-efficient for Android type or iOS based development, but then it's not really a must. If you don't have that, you can use a basic laptop, install what you call Android Studio, or just get, if you don't have Android iOS, you can just install Android Studio, download the SDKs, and there you go, virtual phone on your laptop. You don't really need a MacBook anymore to be doing those type of things. So finally, this is the last part. Finally, just subscribe to the channel. I'm not sure when I'm gonna drop this video, and the moment I drop this video, in the following week, I'll be dropping an HTML tutorial with the CSS tutorial. I think I'm gonna start it slow. HTML tutorial with the CSS tutorial. But I'm thinking of just dropping HTML, CSS, and JavaScript tutorial for beginners. But with the first video I watched, or the first tutorial I had, was HTML and CSS. So it was just building a website with those two languages only. But then I want everyone on this channel to be good with JavaScript, because that's the best language. I know what people say, the jokes on JavaScript and all of that, but leave the jokes aside. JavaScript has money. That's where the money is, JavaScript. And yeah, being a self-taught is not bad. It's not a bad idea. The only reason, because what they teach you at school won't really be as much as what you can learn of online resources. That's the truth. School has to touch a basic. They only cover basic, or what I call, they just scrape the level on everything they teach. They're just scraping the level. When you go on YouTube or all of these platforms or boot camps, that's when you actually learn more than what someone with a degree has. The only advantage of a degree is its paper. So it shows that you did this, you're good at attending a class. It does not really show your skill as a developer or anything like that. So if you're not a student, you can just watch a couple of videos, and I'll be dropping a few videos. Not really videos that you can show your... Okay, I'm gonna record that again. So I must cut this part out, make a note then. Okay, cool. So yeah, with what we'll be covering on this channel will not be too much or too little. It will be enough for you to put as your portfolio. 10 videos is what we're going to be doing, focusing on web development, the front end, and a bit of the back end for now. But I want to teach you front end, UI development, and all of that, server running and all of that can be implemented later on. That can be implemented later on, because that's like a in-depth project or tutorial if you have to do server-based thing. For that, you're gonna need a Linux system to run the server on. So later on in the channel, we'll be showing you how to install Linux on your Windows. Not even take the Windows out. Install Linux on your Windows. So you keep in both. That's what I'm doing now. I have Linux on my Windows. So I'm not running Linux on another system. VirtualBox. That's the easiest way to explain it. VirtualBox. We'll be having in-depth tutorials like after we download the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like maybe 10 lessons of that. We'll just be dabbling in weird things like creating your own search engine, for example, or Kylie Linux, package tracing, or spoof attacks in Kylie Linux. What else? Mobile app development. That's what I want to get into. That's what I want to get into with you guys, is the mobile app development. That's like the biggest thing I want to get into. But then yeah, this video was too long. I feel it was like too long. Just an introduction video of what to expect from the channel. Just an introduction of what to expect from the channel. Yeah. So hopefully you'll subscribe. Hopefully you'll hit that like button or turn the notifications on. But for now, I'm not gonna be asking for too much. Just subscribe if you want to learn HTML, C++, and all of those. But then, yeah, it's been Future Tech with Eddie. I think that's a nice name, but Websense Future Tech. That was the name I registered for the company, Websense IT Solutions. But I actually want Future Tech. I think because I'm doing Future Tech, that's the one I'm staying with, Future Tech. So yeah, make sure you'll hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about HTML, C++, and JavaScript, and then in future Python. So I haven't touched on Python, but then I heard it's pretty easy, so we'll be touching on Python together. Imagine that, touching on Python together, with consent, obviously, with consent. Yeah, thanks. See you next time.